They say being stoic means hiding your feelings, acting tough, staring blankly at life and doing it all alone. They were wrong. Stoicism isn't about shutting off, it's about showing up, not as a machine, but as a human who is stronger because they feel, not in spite of it. It's the path of becoming undefeatable, not because the world is kind, but because you've learned to find peace within yourself, no matter what life throws at you. Long before motivational books and mindset coaches, there was a shipwreck. A merchant named Zeno of Citium lost everything at sea, washed up in Athens with nothing. He stumbled into a bookstore and discovered Socrates. That one encounter transformed his entire life. He began studying philosophy, teaching under the painted porch, the Stoa Poikile, and from that porch, Stoicism was born. Zeno taught that we suffer because we cling to what we can't control, that peace isn't found in wealth, status, or pleasure, but in living a life of virtue. He was followed by others, Seneca, who navigated power, wealth, and loss. Epictetus, a slave who taught the mind could never be chained. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor, who wrote quietly to himself amidst wars and plagues. These were men who lived with their backs against the wall and still chose integrity, discipline, and clarity over chaos. Stoicism was never about denying pain, it's about facing it. It teaches us how to steer through life's storms, both past and present, and find calm in knowing that even if our lives aren't long, they were lived well. That's the promise of Stoicism, not a longer life, but a better one. When we look back, it won't be about how much we had, but how well we endured, how wisely we loved, how courageously we stood in the fire and refused to fall apart. But somewhere along the way there, we lost the plot. Modern men started treating Stoicism like armor, emotionless, cold, proud. Here's how we're getting it wrong. 1. Feeling nothing. We think we have to be unfeeling robots. But Stoics felt grief, anger, sadness. They just didn't let those feelings define them. 2. Going alone. We glorify isolation. But Marcus Aurelius thanked over 70 mentors in meditations. Asking for help isn't weak, it's wise. 3. Stoicism is just for men. No, Stoicism is for humans. Any person who suffers, who loves, who wants to live with intention. 4. Memorizing quotes instead of living them. Seneca didn't write letters to go viral on Instagram. He wrote to survive his own doubts. It's not about posting, it's about practicing. 5. Looking tough. Instead of being tough, Stoicism is quiet strength, doing the right thing when nobody's clapping. That's real power. People turn to Stoicism when life breaks them open, after a loss, after betrayal, after failure. They come to Stoicism not because they want to be untouchable, but because they want to feel less lost. It gives you clarity in chaos, a structure for suffering, a way to keep moving when nothing makes sense. It doesn't make pain disappear. It makes you strong enough to stand inside it and still choose to live with dignity. Stoics practiced voluntary discomfort. Why? To build the muscle of the mind. Fast, sleep on the floor, or take cold showers. Leave your phone behind for a walk. Not because you have to, but because someday you might. These small acts whisper to your nervous system, I can handle more than I think. When comfort is no longer your God, you stop fearing discomfort, and that is freedom. We chase happiness like it's out there, in a better job, a better body, a better relationship, but those things can be taken. Stoicism says, build your joy on what cannot be taken, your values, your effort, your perspective. If your peace depends on something outside you, you'll live in fear. But if it lives within, no one can touch it. The foundation of Stoicism is this. There are things you can control and things you cannot. Your actions, your words, your mindset, yours. The weather, other people, the past, not yours. Write it down every day. 2 columns. What's in my hands? What's not? And then let go of the second one. This is how Stoics find peace, not by controlling more, but by surrendering better. Stoicism is built on 4 timeless virtues. 1, wisdom, seeing clearly and making thoughtful choices. 2, courage, doing what's right, even when it's hard. 3, temperance, practicing balance and knowing when enough is enough. And 4, justice, standing up for others and living with fairness and integrity. If you lived every day guided by just these 4, that would be a life well lived. Not perfect, but honorable and real. Stoicism isn't just ancient history, it's the foundation of modern therapy. REBT, Rational Emotive Behavior Therapy, teaches you to challenge irrational thoughts. That's Epictetus. Logotherapy, from Viktor Frankl, says that suffering needs meaning. That's Stoicism too. You're not broken for struggling, but you are responsible for how you respond. This blend of philosophy and psychology is a lifeline, not just for coping. Life will test you. You will face storms, some from the outside, some from within. But you are not powerless, because when you live by Stoic principles, you become undefeatable. Not because you're invincible, but because you are unshakable in your values, because you choose wisdom over reaction, courage over avoidance, peace over panic. And in the end, you may not have lived as long as you'd hoped, but you'll have lived well, and that's enough. This is Stoicism, not cold, not heartless, but powerful, present, and unbreakably human. Subscribe for more ancient wisdom, made for this moment.